Right then, hello and welcome to the... Well, I'm going to do this as one video, I think, because if you've seen yesterday's Thorpe Park Day 2 one, and well, I probably... No, I might have put it up yesterday, I might schedule the videos to go up. Basically, I was going to do this as 2 videos, because I'm here and then going somewhere else. But to be honest, it's probably just going to be work better as one, because I don't think I'll spend that long here. So this is Painshill, which is basically... The only reason I'm here is because there's a Taskmaster filming location. There are some caves here that they never filmed in, so I haven't seen those, but mainly, the only reason I know about this place is because of that. So I'm going to go around and see... There was only like 2 main buildings where they filmed tasks, from what I remember, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's not, obviously, whenever I do something like this and I come somewhere sort of like a nature reserve on the way back from a theme park, it's not quite the, you know, if I come somewhere like this just as a day out, then I enjoy it a lot more than thinking about the fact that I could be back on stealth today. But, you know, I have got a couple of places coming up, West Midlands Safari Park, and then a good few weeks, then I'm at Blackpool Pleasure Beach again. But yeah, I am looking forward to this. It's just because of, like, it's so different to what I've been experiencing the last 2 days. This is just a completely different experience, and it's just not quite the same once I've been somewhere else. But yeah, it does look nice. It's just that I'd prefer to come somewhere like this on the way, because then I'd kind of have this nice natural location, and then it'd help with like the excitement getting there. But yeah, I did this the same last time I came to, when I did all the 3 parks in the same weekend. I'm glad I've been able to get updated vlogs. I'm hoping to do Legoland next year, because I need to get an updated visit there, because it's been so long, and I've obviously got 2 new coasters. Because yes, I do count dueling coasters as separate. Racing coasters as one, like Steeplechase is 1. But I think Minifigure Speedway is classed as 2, because they're actually different layouts, they're not parallel the whole time. So yeah, but yeah, I did the same thing where I ended up coming somewhere on the way back. At least it is on the way back though, and it's not like I'm staying another night. But yeah, so it started off a bit miserable, but no, I am looking forward to it. I'm just not quite the same anymore, because I said how I felt yesterday. You know, I enjoyed Thorpe so much more this time, and it'll probably be another 3 years till I get to go back. So that's why I'm not. This isn't going to be the best I've felt when I've come to a place. It's not going to be as bad as when I was at Matlock last year, and that's not Matlock's fault for being a bad day out. It's just that I'd had a really bad day the day before, and it just completely ruined the atmosphere at Matlock that one day. It's not going to be like that. It's just that I've just been somewhere I love that I don't get to go to very often. That's the problem. But yeah, I'm going to get in and see. I don't know what I'm going to do first, because I don't know. I guess I'm just going to do what's furthest from the entrance and then work forward again. And then I can't even remember what the second place is called, but I'll get to that after. here we go, the first location. I think they used this multiple times, but yeah, I am starting to enjoy this a lot more. I know it's basically because I do like places like this. It's just that when it comes after something I've loved, like I knew I was going to enjoy it and I loved it more than I expected, it's kind of, it's so different that I've got to kind of get over how I'm feeling after coming back. But yeah, I'll try and get there again in like less than 3 years this time, because I'd love to go once a year, to be honest, but I don't know how possible that is. But yeah, I'll try and go more often. But this is the P-Olympics one. I think that there was another one, but I can't exactly remember. I mean, it'll tell me on Taskmaster Wiki where things were, like what tasks were, and it will obviously show this building, so I'll be able to know. There we go, this is like the most iconic one, I think, of all of them. And yeah, they're all pieces of artwork, so like, I mean, the other building, you could kind of tell it was like, sort of quite a modern piece that looked like an old building, whereas this genuinely just looks like a ruin, but it's actually built like this. You can kind of tell seeing it in person, because I like the way the window is up there and stuff, but yeah, it's a piece of theming, basically. But it's just built like how an old building would be. But yeah, the cushion task was filmed here, where they had to, if they were seen, they had to like carry into the cushion. I can't quite remember the exact rules of it. It was something like that. Again, I need to look on the wiki page for this. Yeah, obviously it was the most recent series 19, which, to be honest, I didn't think was as good as people said, because I know a lot of people said, oh, it was like one of the best seasons. It's kind of middling for me. I think it was memorable because it was chaotic, but I don't know if the specific tasks were that memorable, to be honest. I mean, Series 5 is always going to be my favourite, but of the recent ones, I think Series 13 was really good, and Series 16 was really good. I think there's just others that stand out more. Even Series 18. I know it was filmed at Thorpe Park, so I'm probably going to remember the tasks a lot more. Because yeah, I didn't say that in Thorpe Park. I actually saw 4 filming locations, because they filmed outside Depth Charge, and they filmed in the loading bay for the Ghost Train. They filmed in Survival Games, which I didn't, obviously, it's a scare maze, it's only open at Halloween, but from the top of Depth Charge I could actually see the tent that Survival Games is in. And then there was a tent under Inferno, but I didn't see that in person, because it's kind of just a tucked away little seating area. Oh, and the Sunset Cinema, that was the one that obviously I got to go in there, so I saw that the counting the seats task in there, which is great. I'd love to see them do like other tasks at like Chessington and Legoland maybe, but I know that because I know there was a task on Sweden that they filmed in. Oh, it was the bigger park. Yeah, it was Grönlund, I think. Yeah. But I say the bigger. It's one of the 2 like big parks in Sweden. They filmed a task on the teacups where they had to blow up like balloon people and keep them in the teacup as it was moving. They have done that task in the UK, just not on a ride. I would have loved to have seen them do a task on Double Tea Party. I know that it wouldn't be the same one because they've already done that task in a different place, but it would have been nice to, there's like a reference to Sweden. But I don't think they do as many references to the other versions as I'd like anyway. So, yeah, but I do wish they'd used Thorpe Park a little bit better in the last series, but I'm glad they did use it, because I always said after Grönlund was on Sweden, I thought, oh yeah, Thorpe Park would be a great location because it's not that far from the house and stuff, and obviously this is the location from the last series and it's not far, so they've used similar locations, like close locations before. So, but I always wondered if Merlin stopped them from doing it, but no, they did do it in Series 18. So I'd like them to do that more often, to be honest. But yeah, and so you got this. There's also a building that the other like main building I remember is the one where they did the powerful pose task, which I ended up watching that episode in Skegness actually. And yeah, that's a bit further back. I'm not really sure where that is. I think they only used it for that one task. I think anyway. I can't remember them using it anyway. This is the one that was in the trailer and used loads. But yeah. This is the third location. I think there's 4 altogether that they actually filmed at. This is a tent which they filmed part of, I think it was a task with the monster in the WoW monster. Again, I'm just not remembering that many tasks from this series, whereas like most of the seasons, apart from season 17, because that's probably my least favourite season. But yeah, I remember a lot more, so I don't know, but yeah, they're definitely filmed here. I do remember, like, I'm pretty sure it was just a 4 location, because you see this view in a lot of tasks, because this is like the opposite side of the valley to the watchtower, but they never actually used the bridge, or at least they didn't use it as like a setup for a task. They might have, well, they did use it for like the monster task, one of them, where they had to spot people in the distance, but they never actually used the bridge specifically for a task. They just kind of went over it, and I think Jason did go down there towards the bridge, but they never used it as like a proper location. But yeah, so round the other side is the building that I was looking out for, with the task that I do remember the most from the season. That's my favourite task, probably, the powerful pose one, which there's like a full building for that. So that, I think that's just around the corner, so I don't have to go up or downhill again. There's actually an inside to this. There's a statue in there. Yeah. So yeah, I've already been through what was filmed here, so.
But you know.
And so I'm here at the second part. Yeah, I just got back from the other place. This is Brooklands, which is like, it's kind of like an air museum as well as like a transport museum, so it's got like vintage cars and other things as well. Yeah, it should be, this is the bit I'm more looking forward to. It should be a lot better than, I did like seeing the Taskmaster locations at the other location, but it was just, I don't know, like I said, it's not the kind of place I like going after somewhere really, it's just a bit of a contrast after the last couple of days, but it was good, but I was kind of still feeling a bit miserable, and it's a bit difficult when it's such a quiet place, really. But this should be a lot more interesting. It's like I said, that's basically all I know about it. I thought Andy'd been here, but I don't recognise this at all, so I think it was somewhere else. I thought he might have come here on the way to somewhere, but yeah, there's not really anything else I can say because I don't really know what to expect.
I've worked so many overnight shifts lately that I'm not even sure what day it is. My ears are ringing from the constant noise of the pumps and compressors, and as for the ammonia fumes, phew. Really, since we started the project, the chamber has been working constantly. Though we did close down on Christmas. Aeroplane ever. Really? It was revolutionary at the time. It went into production in 1952, and they were building them right up until about 1964, and they built 445 of them.
Wow, okay.
Mostly here.
Multi-engine aircraft, they'll fly on half the engines that were installed. I've actually flown on a Viscount. This is a Vanguard. This is a Vanguard. Yes, the Viscount. Yeah, the Viscount actually. Excuse me. Did your son want a little play on the throttle box?
Don't have a play with the controls here, okay? Yeah.
Don't go too fast. There's a speed limit. Right.
Forward and then it goes back. Can you be careful when you go down?
So this is where you top up on the Blackstone heating, which is currently located.
You want to do redesign concept, as you both cascade, send them up to the long windows. Of course, the man.
Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying this a lot more now. This is... I hope it didn't come across as too miserable at the start. I think I just... When I'm in the mood for one place, and then I have to just switch to something different. It's not bad, it's just different, that's the thing. You know, some things are so different, you have to be in the mood for different things at different times, and I just wasn't quite there this morning, but I think with all the interactive things here and everything, this is a proper museum. This is more now what I'm actually enjoying, so yeah, and I've got to get on Concord outside after. That'll probably be the last thing I do, because I think this is the last bit before that, and then I've done everything after that. Yeah. I'm glad it's not been a completely miserable vlog, and I think most of it is where I've actually enjoyed it, so. Right.
undertake many roles that test their skills, from building maintenance, gardening, cleaning, as well as more obvious rebuilding of old buses.
Welcome. We hope you have enjoyed your visit and our displays. Inform you that further details of our collection, plus those not on display, are to be found in the museum guide, available at the reception counter.
Road in 1942. Aircraft parts were manufactured here for assembly at the main Vickers Aviation Factory on the Brooklands site in Weybridge. Cobham Bus Museum began here in 1972. Unfortunately, the years began to take their toll on the building structure. We were faced with two options: either carry out extensive repairs to the existing building, which would have been very difficult with the collection in place, and probably would have prevented us from achieving ongoing official museum status. The alternative was to find another location. Luckily, space was found on the Brooklands Museum site about a mile away, where
That's the joystick. You can move it forwards, backwards, left and right. For the plane to go down, up, or left or right. Down here is the throttle. And this lever here moves the four nozzles of the outputs of the jet, so it can go vertical or horizontal.
In here you've got a navigation unit. See a map come up. That would tell the pilot where he was. Because we're talking 1971 vintage, so there's no sat-nav or GPS. And around here there are 140 plus dials and switches. And this is a basic head-up display. So that would tell the pilot all the main information he needs. And just in front of this joystick is a yellow and black cord, which if you pull, that would fire the ejector seat. That's after it's fired the explosive cord in the perspex to shatter all the cockpit glass, the perspex. Then you and the seat would shoot out, and then the parachute would open once the seat is fallen out of that. You could be going up to about 700 miles an hour with this plane. I made about 830 of them, and the Americans had 400 of them. The US Marines still use a later version.
Small, medium or large? We're designing a bomber that can carry lots of bombs and fly really fast. So we get small, medium or large. Think so? Straight way, swept backward, melting with different shapes of waves. Think so? Great. What's next? How many engines? 2, 4. So, this will have a rocket-assisted takeoff, afterburners, on the extra rockets. I don't know how afterburners work, but they help it take off.
Yeah, that's ridiculous looking. Right there, I've just ended the experience, and yeah, I've just filmed a whole segment and it's deleted, so I'm going to have to go through it all again, so I probably won't mention certain things now. So yeah, I have just come off of this Concorde experience, which was really good. It's a lot longer than you think. There's a lot of sort of information given about the different sections. So you start off in this bus that you just get an introduction. They basically just tell you what you're about to do, and then you move into underneath. So you can obviously walk underneath this bit here, which is good, but you get a lot more up close with this section because it's where the engines are. And there's also like emergency propellers, which apparently during the time these were built, they never ended up using them. But yeah, so the reason it's here, it was just the place that had history of like aircraft, so they were the ones to save this, because we thought after it flew for the last time in 1981 that it'd never be saved, but it did. It came here in 2004, and I was wondering why it said on my ticket, because you get to keep the ticket, why it says it didn't actually you couldn't go on it until 2006. It was because it took them over 18 months to install it. They had to rebuild it in 5 segments and build their own tail fin. So it took a long time. But yeah, so you go up and into what used to be the baggage hold. They've turned it into a museum. So you've got different pieces of machinery and what would have been used by the pilots and everyone. There's a video that plays that just tells you more information about it and why it's here. And yeah, then you go into the seating area where you get your virtual flight, which is it's good. It's basically the seats just vibrate a bit, but I did like the detail when you land, when the wheels land, like you do feel that thud as the wheels like land on the runway. It's because there's basically a video of a montage of on-board and off-board footage, and it tells you a bit of the history of, like, you know, when they stopped flying and then they came back in 2001, and then it shows you the last ever flight in 2003, and that was obviously the year before this came here. This was actually the 3rd one to ever be built. The first one, I think this is right, I think it's the first one to be built in the UK fully, but it was the 3rd one of all time. And there were only 20 altogether. They were going to build like hundreds, but I think because they are impressive. The fact that this would get you from here to the US in 3 hours, and it takes me 3 hours to get from here to back home. So it's impressive, but I think the technology and things are so advanced and so expensive to run and maintain. It is a lot. It is impressive, but it goes faster than the speed of sound, It's a lot to maintain, so I think that's why they didn't run for that. They run for still over 20 years, but yeah. And there's basically a montage with the captain. There's screens to tell you what counts up when you're going higher, and the thing is, what I'd love to know is what's the G-force like on these, because they said you'd sort of feel like as you raised up, you'd feel it, but I don't know what the G-force would be, but maybe you'd feel it less because you're enclosed. I don't know. But yeah, you've got like the nose cone, which is apparently it's down because it is streamlined as you're going up, because it's going forward, so you kind of move forward a bit more as it's inclining, but it's also just so the pilot can see. The windows as well, they're really small. I noticed that from seeing it outside. That's just because the air pressure, basically. The smaller windows are more dense, they're really thick, they're double layered. They've also got air pumping into them, so that cools them down. There's like pipes running through, because there's a bit where you could see all the structure and it's all open. But yeah, and then you get to see in the cabin, which is really good. And you come downstairs, you get given a certificate on the way out by the tour guide. And yeah, there's some great like staff members here that will give you a lot of information. Like when I was in the like sort of hangar building, basically when I showed that tunnel, I thought it was an airship, but what I was thinking, why is the cabin inside? It's because that was actually just a piece of a plane inside, and what the tube around it, that big what looks like a jet engine, it's a door, and that closes it off. You couldn't see the other side of it because one, they're expanding the museum, so this eventually you're going to be able to see what's inside. But the reason you couldn't see the back of it where the door closes on is because they had a show going on, so you can't get into that bit unless you've seen the show, which I haven't got time for because I'm not here for very long. I'd definitely come back though. I'd prefer to come back before a theme park, just because I'd really get into it straight away then, or on its own. But I think to do everything, you know, I couldn't come all the way here just for the one day, I don't think. So yeah, but yeah, it's basically a door that closes on that, and it's massive, but it's basically a way that they tested. It was like just after the end of the Second World War, they tested these materials so they could be tested and put on planes in different weather conditions, and they used them for years, but they haven't used them for a long time now. But the data that they collected is still relevant. You know, they still use it for different materials if they're building a new plane, which I thought was really interesting. Like, yeah, just that big piece of machinery, but a lot of people just think it's a piece of something. They don't really bother to know what it is. But yeah, like the staff member told what it is, and it's like, yeah, it is really. It's a lot more impressive when you know what it is and the fact they still use it. And also, like, the first woman pilot, like, was officially here. And the reason is even though this was a racetrack, that was one of the things that made it important for aircraft, because in the middle of the racetrack, you could still see part of it where the cars were going. There was just a big field, so she had to build her own aircraft and then fly off from the field, and that was one of the connections to why this has such a history, because that's why people wonder why this is here really, but it's because of all the other aircraft history that they used to test. Yeah, and that was that piece of machine. I'm glad I know what it is now, because it is really massive when you see it in person. I haven't actually seen everything here. Like, there's that McLaren section. I haven't had a chance to go in there, but I've got excuses to come back, you know. Oh, there's a car on the racetrack. Yeah, when I was filming my other bit, there was like a proper like racing car going past, but yeah, I love all the interactive things. That's what really got me engaged into this. It just makes it more immersive and more like, you know, you get to experience something firsthand rather than just seeing stuff in a museum, which is still great. But when you get to experience it, like sitting on the buses and getting in all the other planes, this you have to book. The other planes, when they're open, some of them open at different times, like some of them have been shut today. I don't know if that's a permanent thing or if they are open sometimes. But, you know, just getting to interact with everything is really good. The bus simulator, I do wish it was run like how it was, and it was like a CGI thing maybe, like an actual simulator so you could drive it, but it's still fun to see the screen and everything and work the pedals and everything, but it would be nice. I know that there was like I don't know how they used to do it when it was actually used as a simulator, but maybe make like a more modern version of that. But yeah, it's sort of bits of it remind me of Avencroft, bits of it remind me of Coventry and Cosford, and those two last places I need to do a video from actually to get more of this audience, because this is something I don't cover that often, or a lot of vloggers don't really. I want my audience to be a bit wider. So basically, yeah, that's bits of it are like that. It's a lot more interactive than those. There was also obviously a couple of bits that were sort of like Blackpool Tram Museum, which again I didn't make a video from when I went there, and that was during while I was making videos. But that's somewhere that really wants to be renovated like this. But they're raising money for it. They've been for a while, and that's why they're doing tours, because a lot of the buildings sort of falling down. They need to rebuild it, and yeah, they're having problems with like some of the old trams that couldn't. I'm not sure if they've got that sorted now, but they couldn't run the old trams for a while and stuff, and then they had to store them in that building, which keeps having work done. And they need like a to rebuild at least just the roof of that building to make it like one of these buildings, really. But yeah, I have really enjoyed this. I've just checked, yeah, the camera is filming, so this will be the outro. So yeah, that is where we're going to end this one. So yeah, it's a great location. I think it's underrated because you don't realise how much important history, how many unique artefacts that you're not going to see anywhere else are actually here, and the location where a lot of important things took place that would change history. So yeah, like, definitely worth coming. Mainly if you live far away, mainly to, obviously, if you're doing the other theme park attractions as well, and maybe if you want to see some Taskmaster locations. But yeah, I've definitely got into this more in the afternoon. And like I said, my next video, it probably will be another place. I will film a video there, and then it'll be Westmoreland Safari Park, which I'm looking forward to, because I haven't seen African elephants for 10 years, so yeah, looking forward to that. But that'll be the one after the next one. They'll both be sometime in the next couple of weeks though. And here we go, here's my pin badge of Concorde that I'm going to put just here. Yeah, I got this today at Brooklands. Yeah, it's not going to work, I don't think. I'll just put it there. It's got very small. They did have some little bronze models of it as well. But yeah, there we go. And I've also got a bear from here. Well, it's a monkey. I'll put that up as well. And I've moved my Thorpe Park bear so it fits in better with Danny the donkey. I've also got this magnet from Painshill as well. So I'm going to pop that there, I think. Yeah, there we go. Nice wooden laser cut one as well. Quite a unique one compared to the rest of the magnets. That's why I chose it, really. And it's got that iconic location. As much as my favourite task was the one from the pose, which they did actually have as well as a magnet. But that's the one that I associate more with the season. So I've got that. And then now I'll put the monkey up as well. And I've just put my squash coin in there as well. I got a squash coin. Yeah, I'm kind of worried that I've gone a bit overboard with the merch this trip. Have you seen the Thorpe Park one as well? But yeah, I'm going to put my monkey up now. Right then, there we go. Yeah, from the London Bus Museum segment. There we go. On top of Chuck E. Cheese, you got Joyland Bear buried underneath. And yeah, I mean, Great Yarmouth has got 2 more cuddly toys that have been released. You got a snail and there's a Britannia Pier bear. Yeah. But yeah, that is it from this trip now. The last piece of merch is added on. And yeah, so like I said, the next thing is going to be Hawkstone Park, which is like a nature reserve with caves. It's kind of like Shanklin Chine, but it's got elements of the Heights of Abraham in it as well. Or like Cheddar Gorge, actually. So yeah, that's going to be the next one.